In a recent interview, Wonder Woman super director Patty Jenkins herself pretty much summed up the DC approach to their shared cinematic universe, or just their movie universe, and Marvel's. But she also seemed to indicate that, in my opinion, reading between the lines, they have more in common than is obviously apparent. And as time goes on and both cinematic universes evolve, they I don't know, they don't really seem like there's that many differences. But I'll explain. I'm on comicbook.com and I'll read her quotes along with some of the things that this writer wrote. I won't read everything though, because not all this I think is really important. But let's get into it. A shared superhero universe like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, quote, shouldn't be the status quo, says Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins, who returns to the connected DC Extended Universe with Wonder Woman 1984. Like the predecessors to Wonder Woman 1984, Justice League, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, and the Suicide Squad, all set in the same continuity, Wonder Woman 1984 has its own flavoring. I love that about it. To me, that's what superhero movies, period, always were. I think the exception to that was that Marvel had such success doing a shared universe, but that certainly shouldn't be the status quo. So basically what she's saying is that how DC movies, most of them, I guess except for Joker, exist in the same connected universe, they don't all feel the same tonally, and they don't all seem like they come from the same, like, cookie cutter factory. I guess, I don't mean to... That may sound like I'm putting Marvel down, because I am basically comparing them, saying that, contrasting it with Marvel, where a lot of their movies do seem kind of cookie cutter. But, that same cookie cutter kind of flavoring is a reason why the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so successful. I mean, when you watch a Marvel movie, you always know what you're going to get. They deliver the same things a lot of people like. It's like McDonald's or Starbucks in a good way. I mean, those are huge chains because they have the same brand. You always know what you're going to get. It's trusted. DC Universe is a bit different, as we all know. Shazam is very different from Aquaman. They're very different from BVS. I mean, these movies are not all the same way in terms of their tonal experience. Not the same as Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is very different from Wonder Woman. But they do all take place in the same universe. That's the most important thing. I don't like having a DC universe where all these people don't know each other. That's not a good idea. Like the many decades of comic books that inspired both the Marvel and DC cinematic universes, Jenkins added, there's this huge variety of comic books, and their look and tone and world are radically different, and they don't always inevitably join together. Sometimes they do, and that's really fun, and that's that thing. But a lot of times, they have their own run. Jenkins continued, I'm psyched that DC, and frankly, Marvel's actually doing it a little bit more now too, with some of the tone of Thor, Ragnarok, and Black Widow and Doctor Strange. They feel very different in tone. But I love that about DC, and I've always thought that that's a wonderful thing about DC. They were also different. And yeah, she does say that, as I was alluding to earlier in this video when I started, Marvel movies are starting to feel a little bit different from each other too. Black Widow, if you watch the trailers, that seems very different from that kind of psychedelic, kind of super comedy tone of like Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, at least in its trailers, sort of kind of had this psychedelic feel, but when you watch the movie, it was almost like a sitcom instead of an action movie. Black Widow, I doubt, is going to be like fun. I mean, it may have some jokes, but Black Widow looks like a lot more serious. Doctor Strange, I think that with this Multiverse of Madness movie that they're making, they've said that I think they want to maybe tap into more horror aspects, scary movie aspects. We'll see, that might change. At least that's what they were going to do when Scott Derrickson was attached. Now it's Sam Raimi. But Sam Raimi can do horror too. So, Marvel is, I think, being a bit more adventurous, slightly, not hugely, but slightly more adventurous in experimenting with tones of different movies. They aren't all, I think, sticking to that house style. DC doesn't have a house style, which is fine. I mean, I like the DC movies we've been getting. But, as time goes on, Marvel and DC, they do seem like they may have more in common than they don't in terms of the way they both approach their cinematic universes. All connected, but also a little bit different. But that's my take, and I think I'm paraphrasing Patty Jenkins' take right. But what's your take? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.